to the bi-weekly ZKsync proposal review call. We took a little break due to DevConnect, but now we are back on our regular schedule until the end of the year. Hope everybody had a great time at DevConnect for those who attended and have been able to recover a little bit the last few weeks. I personally had such a wonderful time getting to be involved with the Governance Geeks Hub and getting to meet a ton of ZKsync delegates for the first time, including some of the ones on this call. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight for me, and really excited to have been able to share that with everyone. Learned a lot about governance and new different projects and new kind of research that folks have been doing in the governance space, and was just really interesting. And yeah, but happy to be back in the focus realm of ZKsync and having our regular calls again. As I mentioned, this will probably be a pretty short one today, but that's okay. Still have a few fun updates to share with folks. So we'll dive right into it. So first on the list, we have a few proposal updates. So there were a few proposals since the last call. There have been a few proposals that I've since passed and have been executed on chain. And those four are TPP 13, ZIP 14, and TPP 14 and GAP 4. So TPP 13 was the proposal that assigned the final Memento rule that was needed in order to activate the governance infrastructure program. That has now been executed, and everything is good to go on that end. So the Gov Infra program is kind of formally launched at this point. ZIP 13 or ZIP 14 was the upgrade to the ZK token contract to ZK token v3, introduced new token burn mechanisms, and also the hard cap on the token contract. The ZIP is still pending final Security Council review and L1 execution, but that's expected to be done by early next week. So they'll share when it's executed, there'll be an update shared on the forum for that. For TPP 14 and GAP 4, these were also recently executed. These were kind of exciting ones, I think, for everyone, just which they reduce some kind of key parameters in the proposal process for TPPs and GAPs. Specifically, the vote delay period was reduced from 7 days to 3 days, which matches up now with the ZIP vote delay. So all three proposal types are on the same vote delay schedule, and also main voting window period schedule of 7 days. And then the other change that was included in both of these proposals was reducing the voting extension from 7 days to 2 days for TPPs and GAPs. And I have actually, just for a little visual, we already updated the docs. So you can see here the changes that were implemented were, again, reducing the vote delay for TPPs and GAPs from 7 to 3, and then here reducing the voting extension from 7 to 2 days. And again, this is similar to the ZIP change from earlier this year when they reduced the vote extension for this. The voting extension only applies if quorum is met in the final 2 days of the original 7-day voting period. So if quorum is met on day 3, nothing changes about the 7-day voting window, still 7 days. If quorum is met on day 6, there will be a 2-day extension from the period in which quorum is met. So instead of the 7 days, it would be, so if it's met on day 6, 2 days added on from that day 6 would be then a total of 8 days of a voting period. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, it does.
Great. Okay. So yeah. So and this is the same as it is for zips right now, but the difference here with zips is it's 3 days instead of 2. So yeah, that's that is now like live. It's in the contracts, the governor contracts, timeline contracts have been updated. So yeah, shorter, just generally a little bit of a shorter proposal process window for folks to keep track of. And it's a little, and they're all now 3 more aligned, which makes it a little easier to also keep track of there. So those were the main, or those were the on-chain proposals that were voted on, passed, and have been executed since our last call that I wanted to call out today. And then I had a few updates on live, or I guess any questions on the proposals that were executed? Sweet. Then a few updates on the live token programs. So the community activation program, the foundation announced a winner for RFP2. And the winner for, or the RFP2 was, the kind of call was for like content and education. So on the ZKsync stack kind of in general, but also I think there were some specific asks for a Prividium focus as well. The winner was announced, what was this, November 25th, so last week. And it is Mad Max who works with ZK Namas, but it was primarily led by Mad Max to like for the application, is my understanding. So winner of RFP2 was announced, and the details can be found linked in the agenda here. And I believe RFP3 in regards to the community activation program, I think it's being drafted right now. I don't have a date for when it will be ready. But I believe it is also, I think it has something to do with hosting a hackathon of sorts. So, which sounds really cool. I just don't have all the details of it because I'm not involved in any of the development of the RFPs. But yeah, that will likely be the next one. And we'll try to figure out when the foundation's wanting to post that one. Maybe before the end of the year even. So, and then moving on to the Prividium Prize program, the first Prividium Prize has been won from the Prividium Prize program, and that winner is Memento. The foundation, or Ben, also posted this on the forum yesterday. He posted somewhere else yesterday and then posted it in the Prividium Prize category today. So yeah, the first winner was announced, and also the first prize Cat Mentor has been allocated successfully to Memento. So cool for the program, and also cool for token mechanics. It's kind of one of the first examples of having external, assigning it to like very external teams to be able to mint and mint from Cat Mentors. So yeah, really, this will be really great learning experiences for the governance team as well, to make sure that the resources are up to par so people are able to do it smoothly. So yeah, really exciting development there. And then the next announcement or update on live token programs at the moment was from the staking program. This was posted a few days ago from Cliff from the Tally team. Just an update basically on kind of launch expectations and timelines. It sounds like just due to a few different delays and also some additional testing that we wanted to do, or like they wanted to do, but also testing before the launch of the program. It's just taking a little bit more time, and finalization of a few kind of interface pieces took a little bit more time than expected, but so they're expecting now to launch sometime in early Q1 for the staking pilot program. This, in my opinion, is totally fine. Honestly, like staking, we want staking, to work super well, and for it to kind of be able to, we want to be able to use it in the way that that it's meant to be used for, and also make sure we're able to test all the things with the pilot program, through the pilot program that we also would maybe want to implement in a more longer term program as well. So including delegate to stake and all of that stuff, and getting the right analytics set up, etc. So yeah, it's but it was great to Cliff. I know Cliff, the tally team, wanted to make sure they provided an update to the community, so they know what to expect there. Any questions on any of the live token programs or any of the other programs that I didn't mention? If I didn't mention it, there's probably no update, but just if there's any questions in general about any of the live token programs, be happy to try to answer.
I had a question, Shelby, of curiosity. On the Memento one, it's like the Memento team now like managing the cap minter itself, and you guys are kind of providing support, or is it both way, or how does it work exactly on the price?
Yeah. So, okay. Actually, let me pull up this is great. I can pull up let me pull up the proposal. And this is why we started requesting people include these diagrams in the on-chain proposal, so it's easier for people to reference. So this is how the Prividium Prize program is set up. There's the parent cap minter, and then there's 10 winners, right? So it's 100 million ZK with 10 million ZK prizes. And each prize cap minter is connected to a rate limiter, which limits the amount that can be minted per month. So it's a 10 million ZK prize, but they can only mint 1 million per month. So what happened when they won this prize is that once the foundation confirmed eligibility, all of that jazz, they assigned the minter role on one of the prize cap minters to Memento, to an address that Memento provided. And then they are able to, as I mentioned, mint from this cap minter up to 10 million ZK and only 1 million per month. The expiration date on all of the by the way, all of the parameters for each cap minter and each rate limiter are also in the on-chain proposal. So if you're ever wondering, so here, these are for all of the rate limiters, and these are pre-deployed, so you can go and check these at any time. 1 million ZK per month for the rate limiters, and for the cap minters themselves, the prize cap minters themselves, you can see the parameters here, cap 10 million, and also the start and end date. So this also means that the prize winners have until December 31st, 2027 to mint. I assume they'll probably mint a lot sooner than that. But yeah, just as a reminder, that's actually a really great question for anybody who's curious and also would like to just check in on things. You can all of the information is in the proposal itself. Does that make sense with the control or handing over the minting rights here?
Yeah, it does. Like they kind of have the right to do it. Basically, they have the function, built to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, so they can go. So say it was this one. You just can click on the contract. They would go to write. If you have a minter role, you can just you go to the mint function, mint to address, the amount. In this case, they would only be able to mint up to 1 million. If they tried to do more, they'd get an error because of the rate limiter. And this is how it works. And if you want to read it, you can also read all of the contracts here just by going to the contract tab, read cap, and you can also check how much folks have minted by going to the minted function down here. So
is this the only way, Shelby, or there's a UI, like a separate UI for cap minters, or not? Just kind of on the...
There is the dashboard. We have the TPP dashboard, but that's that shows all cap minters that have been deployed and assigned the minter role through governance. But those will just be, I believe that it might just include the parent cap minters. I'm actually not sure if it also includes the child cap minters. This is a really great question. I will check. But yeah, but this is just like the block explorer, the Era block explorer, and this is definitely the most direct way to be able to check on any cap minter or any contract, I guess, smart contract that's related to governance, is reading the functions directly here.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, that's actually, that's a good question. So we have the dashboard, the TPP dashboard. But again, I have to double check if it's only the parent cat mentors, like the cat mentors that are assigned mentor role directly via governance, because it might be just that, or if it's all cat mentors, including all of the children that are, it would maybe include all children that are pre-deployed, but I'm not sure if it includes everything else. Here, this dashboard, if you're familiar with it, you can see all of the live cat mentors, their caps. So this one, it looks like here, this 100 million, this is the Prividium Prize program, and this is the parent cat mentor. It's not showing the 10 million child cat mentors here. So that's a good shout. I'll try to see if our dashboard guy can do something there. But yeah, so the TPP dashboard shows you the parent cat mentors, how much has been the cap, how much has been minted, how much is pending still to mint, and the admin address, date created, expiration date, all of the basic parameters for any of the parent cat mentors. Also share it in the chat here if anybody wants to go take a look at that. Any other questions in regards to the, I guess, cat mentors in general, or the Prividium Prize program? Great. Okay. Yeah, I got to be careful. I could talk about this for the whole hour. So next on the agenda, were just a few ecosystem updates. Wanted to call out that the ZKsync Foundation has posted a new update in their kind of ongoing thread of their proposal priorities. So you can find that here. Share it in the group or in the chat. And yeah, so this is just similar to past updates, gives a little bit of an overview of kind of the work that the foundation has been focusing on, some of the partnerships and deals that they've been working on over the last few months, including ADI Chain and Sand Chain were some of the bigger ones that were announced recently. Also just giving an update on their involvement or role support in, or their role in supporting the development of different proposals in like the 3 different work streams that they had outlined in their original post. So no new proposals here, more just kind of updates on the proposals that they helped curate and are the program administrators of. So yeah, this is just wanted to call this out in case anybody wanted to check that out. And then the last update I have is the publishing of the ZKsync Association operational report. So this report was a little labor of love from the association and the governance team. It covers the years 2024 to 2025, but the plan is to post an annual report similar to this in years going forward. It summarizes a lot of basically a lot of like association kind of topics or like the entity topics itself, but it also provides a really nice overview of the governance system, developments from throughout within the first year. Also a proposal, like overview of all the different proposal types, participation trends, key outcomes, etc. If you haven't taken a look at it yet, it's pretty cool. And I will also share it in the chat here for folks to go take a look at. We have it currently living in a GitHub repository, which we'll continue to plan to host everything there. It's in the governance resources repo if anybody's looked around there before. So yeah, this was one of the bigger projects that we were working on the last few months, and more pages. There we go. Has some fun summaries and what's been done this year, essentially. The year in review, the governance system section is probably the most interesting for the folks on this call in particular. But yeah, just wanted to call that out. And if you do go through and read it and have comments or feedback, obviously feel free to reach out directly. But I also posted an announcement about the publishing of this report on the forum. So you can also feel free to just leave comments or feedback here directly. So it's also a little bit more of like a public discussion forum feedback session as well. So yeah, has anybody actually taken a look at the report yet? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, we did actually, not in super detail, but we did, and we saw the Governance Day shout out. So thank you. We really tweeted about it, but I think it's great, and actually not only regarding the governance part, but everything related, to the airdrop, to everything that's CK related, to have everything in one place, it's huge, right? And it's super easy to access. It's official as well, so it's not, getting from a Twitter thread or anything. So I think it's a great job, Shelby. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I think it's important. It's a good exercise no matter what you do, to kind of take a step back and think through all of the things you did that were done this year, and kind of how they all tie together into the strategy and direction that a project is moving towards going forward as well. We did include a little bit at the end of the report. There's a section on like kind of looking forward as well, key learnings, which there were many. So taking those with us into 2026 and hoping to improve and make an even bigger and better governance system for ZKsync. But yeah, and thank you, folks, obviously, for all of the participation and the feedback and the input that many of you have provided throughout this first year. It's been a lot of fun to work on this governance project together. As we all know, this is not easy stuff, and we're in a lot of ways, especially with ZKsync token governance, building the ship while we fly it. So we really appreciate all of the enthusiasm and just the feedback, especially in regards to token mechanics and all of that kind of more niche elements that are within the ZKsync governance system specifically. So yeah, I'm really excited to start a new year working together, and excited to see where 2026 will take us. And that's all I had for you folks. I guess if any other comments on the report specifically, or any other topics that folks maybe wanted to raise while we're here. Okay, great. And I lied. I do have a few more notes I did want to share. I just didn't add them. I forgot to add them to the agenda. So just a few end of year notes, because we're getting towards the end of the year, just so we all kind of know what to expect. So for the next proposal review call is scheduled for Wednesday, December 17th. That one will be the last proposal review call of the year. And then for the first proposal review call in 2026, I was actually thinking, so the next one after the 17th is on the 31st of December, which I don't believe anybody will be wanting to attend. So we'll skip that one. And what I was thinking is that since January, like the first few weeks of January, folks are ramping up anyway, we'll just have the first proposal review call be on the 17th. So that's like the next scheduled one. So essentially we'll just skip the call on the 31st, given the holiday season and folks ramping up in the first few weeks of January anyway. If anybody has any strong feelings or direct feedback on that suggestion on this call right now, I'd be curious to hear it. Otherwise, I'll probably just go ahead and go with that. go with that for the next few calls, and then it will just return to the normal schedule after that. And then the other two quick notes, end of year notes to mention is that that are also relevant, I guess, to the calls too. So the governance team is currently unaware of any other bigger proposals coming through before the end of the year in any case. So that also is telling, or is also contributed to the reasoning behind maybe just skipping the 31st call and returning to the regular schedule on January 17th. But yeah, just wanted to give like a quick shout out to, just so folks are generally aware. Well, kind of things are starting to kind of ramp down now towards for the end of the year. And also just a quick shout that the ZKsync Association will be closed for the between December 22nd and the 26th. We did this last year as well. It's just like a standard kind of close week. Obviously always monitoring and available for emergencies, but just did want to give a quick shout to folks here as well. And yeah, just standard holiday kind of close week for around the Christmas holidays. Any questions or comments to those quick end of year notes? Great. I have a feeling most folks will also be busy with other things around that time of the year too. So I figured it wouldn't be too dramatic of a note. Okay, great. Then if there's nothing else, then we can call it for today. There's no, in terms of like summary of actions, there's no direct actions from this week or this call this week. Just if you haven't checked out the 1 year report, would be awesome if you did. And if you had any feedback to share, would be happy as always to hear it. So with that, we will close it out. And thank you everyone for joining, and hope you have a great rest of your week. Notes and everything recording will be up tomorrow.
Amazing. Thanks, Shelby. Bye, everyone.